While we in the West are well into the year 2025, others in the East are looking forward to the year 4722. On tonight's Mixed Plate, Pamela Young sees what's in the stars for the year of the snake.
2 billion people in the Far and Middle East have their eyes on the lunar calendar, which pegs Wednesday, the 29th of January, as the new year. And what a year it promises to be. The ancient legend says the emperor declared a race in the animal kingdom. The first 12 to cross the Li River would have a place on the lunar zodiac. One by one, the animals raced across the water to claim the slots. But the lowly snake was a poor swimmer, so he hitched a ride on the horse's hoof and made it to the 6th slot before the disappointed horse.
Consist the meaning of sneaky. So you gotta watch the people around you. Don't get bad.
The snake would be the first to admit it's got a somewhat negative image, but not in Chinatown, where it's portrayed as a cuddly cutie.
People like to look at the things that make people happy, not scary.
But Master Wu warns, don't be complacent.
So in 2025, there are many changes. Job change, moving to a new place. So everyone should cope with changes.
And some of those changes could be very beneficial. So be joyful, be kind, and watch your back. 恭喜发财，新年快乐. That's Mixed Plate. I'm Pamela Young.
Well, many around the world are welcoming the Lunar New Year, marking the start of the Year of the Snake. So what can we expect in the months ahead? Joining us is astrologer Alice Enoy, host of Following Journeys to break it all down. Alice, thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, so you are a Western astrologer, yes, but you also study Chinese astrology or half Chinese. So I'm curious, how do these two disciplines work together? Do they ever conflict? Do they align?
It's such a great question. I get asked that a lot, and I like to just liken it to, there's many ways to climb the same mountain, and when you get to the top, you have the same view. So whether it's Chinese astrology, Western, Vedic astrology, it all sort of kind of lines up in the same way. So every year I do this astrological forecast, and I do a Western forecast, but I always include the Chinese astrology, and I've noticed they always match up.
You know, we were talking a little bit about this, but in Western society, snakes tend to be conniving, snaky, but you were talking about how in Chinese astrology, the snake represents something different.
Yes, so that is very Western, right? We talk about, oh, he's a snake, or she's like very snaky. In Chinese astrology, the snake is wise, creative, deeply intuitive. And if you think about the snake sheds its skin, and so there's a symbolic representation when we talk about the year of the snake.
Got it. This is the year of the snake. So what does that mean for us?
Well, if we start out with looking at the animal, we can get a really good understanding of the parallel. So think about how a snake is very, what would you call it? It's very precise in how it moves.
Slithers.
It slithers. See, that's the negative connotation of it.
I know.
But it kind of moves very purposefully through things. And when it's time to let go, it just lets go. So I think in the year of the snake, we will need to be really open to shedding our skin, letting go of anything from clutter to old mindsets to new beliefs, all of that.
And it's not just the year of the snake. We keep hearing about the wood snake. What is the significance of that?
Yeah, so the elements are something that we add to each year that kind of gives the year a different dimension. So there are 5 elements: water, wood, fire, earth, and metal. And so wood, think of wood as a tree, and think of how trees are creative, they grow, they're expansive, they adapt to change, and so that modifies the snake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so what should people expect in 2025 based on the 12 astrological influences?
Yeah, so I think what we're going to expect, or what we can expect as we go into this year, is lots of change. I mean, we're already seeing change with the intersection of government and AI and technology, so it's nothing new. But I think the message really is, as we are moving through the year, think like the snake. Be steadfast. Don't freak out at to be it's a fast year. Wood is a fast energy. It's sort of an extroverted energy, but the snake is a little bit more introverted. So you want to kind of be very mindful about how you're moving through the year.
Okay, mindful, steadfast. So you talked a little bit about this, but how can we best prepare for this year?
You know, I think the way to prepare is to ground yourself. Think about a snake. Snakes are grounded. They don't fly all over. They're grounded. Last year
Do they fly?
No, they don't. Not
thank
not
you.
the Chinese snake.
Okay.
Last year, the dragon was a very active year, so that was a different type of energy. So this year, ground yourself. Do not overthink things, and don't react. Think about a snake. If it has a destination it goes, things could be burning all over. There could be craziness all over, but it stays on its path. So I think as we go through the year of the snake, we want to be really mindful. Stay grounded. Don't flip out at every single change, and most importantly, be open. Because change is happening. The more we say we don't want change and resist it, the harder it is going to be and the more wasted energy we have. So be open, even in the face of things that we don't like, and look for the positive. There could be things that come out of this year that will end up being good.
So any final advice or big themes to watch out for?
You know, I am just going to say there is going to be a paradigm shift this year in how life shows up around us. And so I think it's just getting used to the idea that there is an expansiveness, there is a lot of change, and I think most of all, be human. I know it's the year of the snake, but we are human beings living in the year of the snake, and so really connecting with each other, I think that's really the message.
I feel like we connected. I could talk to you all night. Oh my gosh, such great insights. If you guys want a deeper dive into what 2025 has in store, Alice Inoue has a 2-hour forecast available on her website. That's followingjourneys.com. Alice, thank you for your insight.
Thank you so much for having me.
Let's send it back to you, Gina.